the baby on a Friday. On the Tuesday before that Friday, I started getting early labor contractions, which at the time I did not know they were contractions. I'm just like, geez, my stomach is hurting really bad. Where is this pain coming from? But when it first started, I'm thinking it was temporary and it's going to stop. Maybe it's gas, maybe I'm bloated. It didn't stop. It started off small and easy, uncomfortable, but small and easy on Tuesday, early in the day. As the day progressed, it started to get stronger. So I'm like, okay, maybe these are Braxton Hicks contractions, but I'm not going to be alarmed because I know it's early and they weren't strong enough and they weren't coming very frequently. So Tuesday night, I go to sleep, or I attempt to go to sleep, and I could not get any rest. I was just so uncomfortable. It was ridiculous. So I tossed and turned all night, kept going to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom a lot that night, more than I had ever gone to the bathroom during my whole pregnancy. So Wednesday morning, I wake up and I take a shower, and I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. So it's Wednesday, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So I'm like, well, I'm off tomorrow, which was Thanksgiving, and I was also going to be off on that Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. So I say to myself, well, let me just try to make it to work today on Wednesday, because then I'll be off for 2 days and I can deal with this. Let me just get this day over with. So I go to work. As soon as I get to work, the contractions, they start back up again, and they're still not crazy painful, but they're just very uncomfortable, and something you just kind of had to breathe. It was more nagging pain than anything. So I'm there, and my coworker kind of walks past my office, and she's like, "Are you okay?" Because I'm 8 months pregnant, and 8 months, however many months I am pregnant, and everyone's kind of like on edge about me being there, and and I'm supposed to be on bed rest, but I ended up going to work that day because I needed to get some things done, and I'm like, I'm only going to stay for half a day. So, I just told you guys how I was about not being compliant to doctor's orders. Don't judge me. So, so she walks past my office and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, well, I'm having some pain in my abdomen, my stomach. I think they're contractions. And so she kind of goes, okay. I can tell that in her face. She's freaking out on the inside, but she doesn't show it. So she goes, okay, well, how far apart are they? How long have you been having them? Okay, she immediately says, okay, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today, and you're gonna go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna go right now. I'm okay, I'm gonna wait. And she's like, no, I think you should go. So we're both going back and forth with each other in these very pleasant voices. And what ended up happening is I ended up staying at work for about an hour or two longer, because I've heard a lot of stories, and a lot of women have told me, you want to try to labor at home as long as possible. So I didn't want to go to the hospital really, really early and then end up being there and being uncomfortable, or even being sent home. So I'm like, I'm going to wait this out as long as I can. So I go home, then Wednesday night comes around, and I'm really in a lot of pain, and I'm just really uncomfortable, and I'm like, because I didn't get any sleep Tuesday night. So I'm already sleepy and tired, and I'm trying to think if I was eating. I don't know if I really had much of an appetite either. So I told myself, okay, if these don't ease up by, I give it a certain time, I'm going to go ahead and call the doctor and see what they say. I'm listening for the baby. So I call and they say, well, they're not coming far enough. I tell them how far and how long, and of course they tell me, it's not time yet. So I figured that. I forget what time that was, but I try to go to sleep Wednesday night, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, you know what, I can't take this anymore. So I call them again. I tell them I'm in a lot of pain. They said, well, come on in. We'll see what we can do for you, see if we can help you with some of that discomfort, and see what's going on, how far you are, how many centimeters you are. So I go to the hospital Wednesday night. Well, it's technically Thursday early morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't tell anyone I was going. I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell my daughter's father because I didn't want to alarm anyone, because I pretty much knew that it wasn't time. I just had this feeling in my head that it wasn't time just yet. But I wanted to go to the hospital for my own curiosity to see if I was anything dilated. So I go there and they check me, and that is painful in itself. Just them checking your cervix. Painful. So I was 1 centimeter dilated, which I was like, okay, I expected that. But in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a long process, because I had already been having contractions for 2 days now. And granted, they weren't like hard labor contractions, but they were still uncomfortable and pain. They tell me that they're going to start me on some IV fluids, because sometimes if you're dehydrated, it can start early labor contractions. So they started me on the fluids to see if that would help the contractions to stop. So I was on the fluids for maybe about 2 hours, and it didn't really ease up any. I was able to get a couple of naps in here and there. And so they told me they were going to send me home after a couple hours, and I'm just looking at this doctor like, I'm miserable. Like, I can't go home. Like, please help me. And I'm like, I'm used to the sickle cell pain, but this is like, the difference is, I don't know. The difference is I couldn't get any medicine for this. Like with the sickle cell pain, I can endure it and I can take it, but I can get some medicine to kind of kick that edge off or something. There's only so much I can take. Like, I could not go through a major sickle cell pain crisis for 2 days with no medicine. Like, no. So the difference is I couldn't take any medicine. I hadn't had anything to eat really. I hadn't had any sleep in the last 2 days. So I was miserable. And so the doctor, she's like sympathizing with me. She's like, well, listen, I'll give you a little bit of medicine through the IV, a very small dose. I don't know if it's going to help, but I'll try to give you that. And then when you get home, take some Benadryl, take some Tylenol, and see if that helps. And I'm like, okay. So I ended up leaving the hospital at 9 a.m. in the morning. So it's Thanksgiving Day. Not that I'm even thinking about turkey at all. But I leave the hospital and I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm in early labor. I'm only 1 centimeter. Oh my gosh. So I go straight to my mother's house. I didn't even tell her I was coming. I just go there because I needed some support. So I get there and I tell her what's going on. She didn't even know I had went to the hospital. And so I'm there for like an hour trying to, get some rest, trying to just walk it out, trying to breathe it out. I'm going back and forth to the bathroom, just feeling all kinds of strange. So then I end up vomiting, not once, but twice. After I vomit, I get up again. I'm trying to walk around, and this gush of water comes out. So my water breaks, and I knew it was my water because I had just gone to the bathroom and emptied my bladder. I knew it wasn't anything else. So my water breaks, and my mom's all excited.